Ladies and gentlemen, when you look in the mirror, you see the person staring back at you, the one who's been with you every step of the way. But the world doesn't always see you for who you really are. The world, too often, is quick to make assumptions, to label you, to place you in a box that they think fits. They'll tell you what you can or can't do, what you'll never be able to achieve, what you should settle for. But you know what? They're wrong. And it's up to you to prove them wrong. So let me tell you something right now, in no uncertain terms. People will tell you that you can't make it. They'll tell you that the odds are stacked against you. They'll tell you that your dreams are too big, too impossible, too unrealistic. But when that happens, when those voices start to get loud, you have to dig deep. You have to remember that the people telling you what you can't do are not the ones who define your future. Only you can do that. The moment you start listening to the doubts of others is the moment you stop believing in yourself. You can't let that happen. Think about it. How many times has someone doubted you? How many times has someone told you that your goals were out of reach, that the road was too hard, too long? They said you didn't have what it took. They said you didn't have the resources, the connections, the experience, the skill set. But guess what? All those things, they don't matter as much as you think. You have something that they can't measure, something that can't be quantified, something that can't be taught or bought. You have heart. You have determination. You have the will to push past the limitations they set for you, to rise above their expectations and turn them into dust. Listen, there's a moment in everyone's life where the world tells them no, it's not a matter of if, it's when. You're going to face adversity, obstacles, and doubts. There's no way around it. But here's what sets the winners apart from the rest. The winners know that no is just a stepping stone. It's just a challenge waiting to be overcome. They know that no is not a final answer, it's a call to action. It's an invitation to step up, to prove that the world is wrong about you. So you've got to push back, you've got to prove them wrong, and you've got to show them that you're better than they ever thought possible. It's easy to let other people's opinions define you. It's easy to fall into the trap of playing it safe, of listening to what others say is possible. But if you're going to live your life to the fullest, if you're going to reach your highest potential, you have to stop living by their rules. You've got to make your own. Let's talk about resilience for a minute, because resilience is one of the keys to proving the world wrong. Resilience is the ability to get knocked down and then to get back up again. To take the hits, to feel the pain, and still find a way to stand tall. Life is going to knock you down, that's just a fact. But the question isn't whether or not you'll get knocked down, it's how many times you'll get back up. And when you get back up, what are you going to do with that second chance? Are you going to let the world's doubt define you? Or are you going to show them that you're stronger than they think? There's a power in perseverance. A quiet power that's often underestimated. People might look at you and see someone who's down, someone who's been knocked back, and they'll assume that it's the end of the line. But you know something? Every setback is a setup for a comeback. Every failure is an opportunity to learn, to grow, to build something stronger. The key is to keep going, to never give up on yourself, no matter how hard things get. And when the world sees you standing tall after all the punches you've taken, they'll realize they were wrong about you. They'll realize that nothing was ever going to stop you because you're the one who gets to decide what your story looks like. We live in a world that's obsessed with instant results. Everyone wants the quick fix, the shortcut, the magic pill that'll make everything better. But here's the reality, there are no shortcuts. Success is earned, not given. It's a long road. And that road is filled with hard work, sacrifice, and dedication. But here's the thing, if you're willing to do the work, if you're willing to keep going when everyone else has given up, you will eventually reach the place where they said you could never go. You'll look back and see that every hour of work, every ounce of sweat, every sacrifice you made was worth it. But only if you keep pushing, only if you don't let the noise from the outside world distract you from your path. Another thing, stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for someone to tell you that you're ready. Stop waiting for the perfect moment, because the perfect moment doesn't exist. The perfect moment is created by people who are willing to take action. The people who succeed are the ones who move even when they're not sure. They're the ones who take the leap, who trust that the net will appear. They're the ones who decide that waiting for someone else to give them the go-ahead is a waste of time. You are the one who decides if you're ready. You are the one who decides when the time is right. So stop waiting and start doing. I want you to think about the people in your life who said you couldn't do it. The ones who laughed when you told them your big dreams, the ones who said you'd never make it. Remember them, and then go show them just how wrong they were. Because the thing is, when you prove them wrong, it's not just about you, it's about everyone who ever doubted you. It's about every single person who ever told you that you weren't enough, that you couldn't reach for the stars. When you prove them wrong, you send a message to the world that says, you don't get to define me. You don't get to tell me what I'm capable of. And when you break through, when you achieve what they thought was impossible, you don't just change your own life, you change the lives of everyone who's watching. We all have that voice inside our head, right? The one that tells us to be careful, the one that tells us to play it safe, the one that tries to protect us from failure. But here's the thing about that voice, it's a liar. It's not the voice of wisdom, it's the voice of fear. Fear wants you to stay small. Fear wants you to stay in your comfort zone where nothing ever changes. But you have to learn to ignore that voice, because if you listen to it, you'll never move forward. Fear is a prison, and the only way out is to take action, to step outside your comfort zone, to prove that you're bigger than your fears. Every time you do that, you get stronger. And eventually you won't just prove the world wrong, you'll prove your own doubts wrong too. I want to say something that may seem a little uncomfortable, but it's the truth. Stop making excuses. Stop telling yourself why it's too hard, why it's too late, why you're too old, too young, too inexperienced. These are just excuses. And every excuse you make is another reason you're not moving forward. The road will never be easy and the odds will never be in your favor. But none of that matters if you're willing to push through. The road will be hard, but that's what makes it worth it. And when you look back at all the obstacles you've overcome, when you see how far you've come, those excuses won't matter anymore. Now, there's one more thing I want to touch on, and that's the power of belief. When the world tells you that you can't, you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that you're capable of more than they give you credit for. And I'm not talking about some empty, wishful thinking. I'm talking about real, unshakable belief. A belief that comes from deep inside you, from the understanding that you are worthy of success, that you have what it takes to overcome any challenge. When you believe in yourself, nothing else matters. Not the doubts, not the haters, not the people who tell you it can't be done. Your belief becomes your shield, your armor, your driving force. The truth is, the world isn't always going to see your worth. It's not going to always see your potential. And that's okay. It's not their job to see it. It's your job to see it, to recognize your own power, and to keep going no matter what. The people who doubted you will be watching. And when they see you rise, when they see you break through every wall that was built to keep you down, they'll have no choice but to acknowledge your strength. They'll have no choice but to recognize that you are always destined for greatness. So keep going, keep proving them wrong. Believing in your potential is more than just a motivational phrase. It's the foundation upon which everything else in your life is built. When you truly believe in your own potential, it becomes a force that propels you forward, even when everything else is telling you to stop. The world is filled with doubt, criticism, and challenges that try to convince you that you're not good enough, that your dreams are too big, or that you're not cut out for success. But what if the key to overcoming every obstacle, to proving every naysayer wrong, lies in the unwavering belief that you have the potential to achieve greatness? Believing in your potential isn't about arrogance or blind optimism. It's not about assuming that everything will come easy or that success will fall into your lap. It's about having an understanding of who you are, recognizing your strengths, and acknowledging the unique talents and abilities you possess. It's about trusting that, even in the face of adversity, you are capable of more than you might realize. This kind of belief in yourself creates the resilience to keep going when the world seems stacked against you. It gives you the courage to chase after your dreams, regardless of how impossible they may seem to others. One of the most important aspects of believing in your potential is learning to block out the noise around you. People will have opinions, judgments, and advice, but most of the time, it's just noise. They may doubt your abilities, question your decisions, and tell you what you should or shouldn't do. It can be overwhelming and at times even hurtful. But the moment you start to internalize their opinions, the moment you let their doubts creep into your mindset, is the moment you start losing sight of your own potential. The truth is, the world is often more concerned with its own limitations than it is with yours. When people tell you that you can't achieve something, what they are really doing is projecting their own fears and insecurities onto you. They may be afraid to take risks themselves, so they try to convince you that you should play it safe. But you don't have to accept their limitations as your own. You have to be able to block out the noise and stay focused on your own vision for your life. That's the key to unlocking your full potential. Believing in yourself also means not being afraid to fail. In fact, it means understanding that failure is a necessary part of the journey towards success. Too many people are afraid to take that first step, that first leap of faith, because they fear failure. But let me tell you something, failure is not the opposite of success. It is a part of it. Each failure brings with it lessons that are crucial for growth. If you are not failing, it means you're not trying hard enough, not pushing yourself enough. Every time you fall down, you learn how to get back up. Every time you stumble, you gain a better understanding of what doesn't work, which brings you one step closer to finding what does. When you believe in your potential, you accept that setbacks are simply stepping stones on the way to achieving your goals. They don't define you, and they don't diminish your worth. They are just part of the process. The real measure of your potential is not in how many times you fail, but in how many times you are willing to get back up and keep going. The road to realizing your potential is not going to be a straight line. It's going to be filled with twists, turns, obstacles, and sometimes even dead ends. But with belief in yourself, you will be able to see each of those challenges as an opportunity. When you have that belief, you're not afraid of obstacles, you're excited by them. You see them as an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to develop into a stronger, more capable person. The more challenges you face and overcome, the more your belief in yourself strengthens. With every obstacle, you grow your capacity for greatness. Another crucial aspect of believing in your potential is not just about believing you can achieve your goals, but about truly understanding that you are worthy of achieving them. A lot of people struggle with self-doubt, thinking they aren't good enough, smart enough, talented enough, or deserving of success. This is a lie that too many people buy into, and it's one of the biggest barriers to unlocking their true potential. You have to recognize your inherent worth and believe that you are capable of achieving everything you desire. Your potential doesn't depend on external validation, it depends on how you view yourself. If you believe that you're worthy of success, you'll work toward it with confidence, knowing that you deserve to achieve the things you want in life. Believing in your potential is also about knowing that you are in control of your future. It's about taking ownership of your choices and decisions and understanding that you have the power to shape your destiny. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that life just happens to you, that things are out of your control, or that you're at the mercy of circumstances. But when you truly believe in your potential, you realize that you are the one who decides how far you go. You are the one who sets the direction for your life, and while external factors may influence your journey, it is your mindset, your actions, and your belief in yourself that ultimately determine how successful you will be. One of the hardest things about believing in your potential is that it requires a level of patience and persistence. So many people give up on their dreams too soon because they don't see immediate results. They expect overnight success, and when that doesn't happen, they abandon their goals. But belief in your potential means trusting the process. It means understanding that success doesn't happen instantly, but that each step forward, no matter how small, is a victory in itself. It requires the patience to keep moving forward, even when you can't see the full picture. The key is to trust that the work you put in today will pay off in the future. Keep going, even when you don't see immediate results, because every small action you take is building momentum toward your ultimate success. Believing in your potential also means surrounding yourself with people who support and encourage you. It's easy to get caught up in negative self-talk and doubt, especially if you're surrounded by people who don't believe in you. But when you have people in your life who lift you up, who believe in your dreams, and who remind you of your worth, it becomes much easier to maintain that belief in yourself. You don't have to do it alone. The journey is long, and the challenges can be tough, but with the right people around you, you'll find the strength to keep going when things get difficult. These people can be your source of motivation, a reminder that you are capable of more than you sometimes give yourself credit for. And remember, believing in your potential isn't a one-time thing. It's an ongoing practice. It's something you have to cultivate every single day. There will be moments when doubt creeps in, when fear takes over, or when things don't go as planned. But in those moments, you have to remind yourself that your potential is not limited by your circumstances. It's only limited by how much you are willing to believe in yourself. And as long as you continue to believe in your potential, you will continue to grow and reach new heights. At the end of the day, the power to achieve everything you've ever dreamed of is within you. You have the potential to be great, to overcome obstacles, to push past doubt, and to achieve things that others might say are impossible. But none of that can happen unless you believe in yourself. Believing in your potential is not about waiting for things to change or for the world to give you permission to succeed. It's about looking in the mirror and recognizing the strength, the talent, and the ability that already exists inside you. It's about stepping out into the world and saying, I'm capable, I'm worthy, I will achieve this. When you truly believe in your potential, you give yourself the power to defy the odds, to shatter the limits, and to create a life beyond your wildest imagination. No one can take that belief away from you. It's yours, and it's the key to everything you've ever wanted. Resilience is not just a trait, it is the ability to thrive in the face of adversity. It is the unwavering strength that emerges from within when the world seems determined to knock you down. It is the quiet power that refuses to let setbacks define you. Resilience is the force that keeps you moving forward when every part of you feels like giving up. It is the mindset that turns failure into fuel and challenges into opportunities for growth. The true measure of who you are, what you're capable of, and how far you can go in life is not how you perform when things are going well, but how you handle yourself when things go wrong. Life is full of unpredictable twists and turns, some of which we can control, but most of which we cannot. We all encounter struggles at some point, whether it's a personal loss, a professional setback, a failed attempt at something we really cared about, or a betrayal from someone we trusted. These moments test us. They challenge our belief in ourselves, our purpose, and our future. But resilience is what helps us rise above these moments to endure and to come out stronger on the other side. It's easy to see a person who has achieved success and assume that it came effortlessly. What we often fail to realize is that true success, the kind that lasts, is built on the foundation of resilience. Resilience begins with a mindset. The belief that setbacks are temporary and that you have the strength to endure through them is crucial. When you encounter difficulty, your mind can either see it as a challenge that will break you or as an opportunity to grow. People who embrace resilience understand that obstacles are not permanent roadblocks, they are bumps in the road. They recognize that every tough moment is a chance to strengthen their character, sharpen their skills, and push their limits further. They know that failure is not an endpoint, but a stepping stone to something greater. To embrace resilience means to transform adversity into an ally. Rather than caving under pressure, resilient people adapt, learn, and adjust. They pivot when necessary, finding new ways to overcome what once seemed insurmountable. The process of resilience also requires patience. It demands that you remain persistent, even when progress is slow and when immediate results are not visible. Many people falter when things don't happen as quickly as they want them to. But resilience is about staying the course, continuing to move forward with faith that the effort you're putting in today will lead to greater outcomes tomorrow. It's about knowing that growth takes time, and that the path to success is often filled with slow, steady, and sometimes imperceptible progress. When you embrace resilience, you accept that there will be moments of frustration, doubt, and even despair, but you also understand that these moments are temporary. The key is to keep moving, even when you can't see the end of the tunnel. Sometimes when you're facing adversity, it's easy to feel like you're all alone. But resilience is also about building a support system, recognizing that while you can weather storms on your own, you don't have to. Surrounding yourself with people who believe in you, encourage you, and remind you of your worth during tough times is an essential part of resilience. Nobody becomes resilient in a vacuum. We all need people to help us along the way, whether it's friends, family, mentors, or colleagues who offer words of wisdom, a helping hand, or even just a listening ear. Resilience doesn't mean you never need help. It means that you have the strength to ask for it when you need it, and the wisdom to accept it. In the face of adversity, it's important to keep your eyes on the bigger picture. Resilience is about maintaining perspective when things get tough. It's easy to become overwhelmed by the immediate challenges in front of you, to lose sight of your long-term goals, or to let the emotions of the moment cloud your judgment. But resilient people know how to keep calm under pressure. They know how to step back, take a deep breath, and remind themselves of the bigger picture. They understand that today's pain is part of a larger journey, and they use that understanding to power through difficulties. Whether it's the completion of a degree, the success of a business venture, or the realization of a personal dream, resilience requires patience and focus. It's about acknowledging that setbacks are a part of the process and not allowing them to derail your progress. Another crucial aspect of resilience is learning how to recover quickly. Life is unpredictable. Even the most prepared person will face unexpected challenges. Resilience is not just about weathering the storm, it's about bouncing back quickly and not staying down for too long. The sooner you can recover from setbacks, the faster you can get back on track and continue moving toward your goals. Recovery isn't just about overcoming physical or mental exhaustion, it's about resetting your mindset. It's about acknowledging that you've been knocked down but refusing to stay there. The faster you get back on your feet, the less time you waste and the more energy you have to tackle the next challenge. Resilience allows you to bounce back faster, to keep up momentum, and to stay focused on what's important. Resilience also demands a sense of responsibility. It's about taking ownership of your life and your decisions, even when things don't go as planned. The most resilient people do not play the blame game. They don't waste time pointing fingers at others or making excuses for their failures. Instead, they take responsibility for their actions, learn from their mistakes, and use that knowledge to grow. When something goes wrong, they don't get lost in self-pity or despair. They figure out what went wrong, how they can fix it, and what they need to do differently moving forward. They take control of their fate. This sense of ownership is empowering. It puts you in the driver's seat of your life, and it makes you realize that you have the power to shape your own destiny. Resilience requires flexibility. Things rarely go exactly as planned. Even the most carefully crafted strategy can encounter unforeseen obstacles. Life doesn't follow a predictable script, and often the best laid plans are disrupted by circumstances beyond our control. The key to resilience is the ability to adapt, to adjust your approach, and to keep moving forward, even if the path looks different than you initially envisioned. Being resilient doesn't mean stubbornly following one path, despite all evidence suggesting that it's not working. It means staying open to change, trying new strategies, and being willing to pivot when necessary. Flexibility is an essential component of resilience because it allows you to roll with the punches and keep your momentum, no matter how many unexpected challenges come your way. Resilience also entails self-compassion. Too often, we are our own harshest critics. We blame ourselves for setbacks, berate ourselves for failures, and punish ourselves for mistakes. But self-compassion is an essential part of resilience. When things go wrong, it's important to treat yourself with kindness, to acknowledge that you're doing your best, and to give yourself the grace to stumble and learn. It's easy to get lost in feelings of inadequacy when things don't go as planned, but being resilient means recognizing that it's okay to be imperfect. It's okay to fail, to make mistakes, and to struggle. What matters is how you respond to those challenges. Resilience is about lifting yourself up after you fall, forgiving yourself, and continuing on with determination. It's about understanding that your worth isn't defined by your failures, but by your ability to rise again. One of the most powerful aspects of resilience is its ability to inspire others. When you face adversity and persevere, you become an example to those around you. Your strength, your determination, and your refusal to give up serve as a beacon of hope to others who are going through their own struggles. People draw inspiration from the way you handle hardship. Your resilience becomes contagious. When others see how you rise after being knocked down, they start to believe that they can do the same. Your journey of resilience becomes a testament to the power of the human spirit, showing others that it is possible to keep going no matter what. You may not realize it, but your resilience can change lives. To truly embrace resilience, it's important to reflect on the reasons you keep going. What drives you to push through pain, disappointment, and struggle? What is the deeper purpose behind your perseverance? Resilience is not just about bouncing back, it's about having a vision, a goal, or a passion that keeps you focused on what matters. When you have a strong why, the challenges become more manageable. The journey becomes more meaningful. And no matter how many times life knocks you down, you rise again because you know that what you're fighting for is worth it. Resilience is a lifelong journey. It doesn't happen overnight. It's built over time through repeated experiences of challenge, perseverance, and growth. And the more you embrace it, the stronger you become. In the face of hardship, remember that resilience is not the absence of struggle, it is the courage to continue, the strength to stand back up, and the resolve to keep moving forward. For far too many of us, life becomes a waiting game. We wait for the perfect moment to act. We wait for someone to approve our ideas. We wait for permission to chase our dreams. We think that success is something that is handed to us when the conditions are just right, when we've crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's, or when someone of authority gives us the nod to move forward. But in reality, waiting for permission is a trap. It's the very thing that holds us back, keeps us stagnant, and causes us to miss the opportunities that are right in front of us. If we are constantly waiting for others to tell us when to act or waiting for everything to fall into place, we are essentially putting our lives on pause. Life doesn't wait for you to be ready, and neither should you. The truth is, no one is going to give you permission to chase your dreams. The world doesn't work that way. Success is not a gift that's handed to you after a series of steps or approvals. Success is something you create for yourself by deciding that you're worthy of it, by choosing to go after it with everything you've got. There's a dangerous belief that we need external validation to take action. But the reality is that the permission you need to live the life you want is already inside of you. You don't need anyone else's approval. You don't need a letter of recommendation, or a stamp of approval, or an invitation to make a move. What you need is the courage to take the first step, to act before you feel fully prepared, and to trust that you are capable of figuring it out as you go. We all have this idea in our minds that success follows a linear path. First, we check all the boxes, we do the right things, we wait for the stars to align, and then success comes. But that's simply not how it works. The people you admire, the ones you look up to and think, they've made it, they didn't wait for permission to start. They took risks, they made decisions without having all the answers, and they kept moving forward, even when the path was unclear. They didn't wait for someone to tell them it was okay to start pursuing their passions. They just did it. And that's the difference. The moment you stop waiting for permission is the moment you begin to take control of your own life. You don't need someone else to give you the green light. You've got the power to move when you decide to, not when someone else tells you it's time. Think about it. How often have you held back from doing something because you were waiting for the right time, or for someone to tell you that it was okay? How many opportunities have passed you by because you weren't sure if you had permission to go for them? The real problem is that we're conditioned to seek approval from others, to seek validation before we take action. But this only delays our progress. Waiting for permission causes you to second-guess yourself, to doubt whether you're on the right path, to wonder if you should even be trying at all. It's a cycle that keeps you stuck. The more you wait, the more uncertain you become. And the more uncertain you become, the harder it is to take that first step. You might be wondering, but what if I'm not ready? That's a fair question. The truth is, none of us ever feels fully ready for something big, something new, or something unknown. We can spend years preparing, learning, and trying to gain the perfect qualifications or the right conditions before we make a move. But the reality is, we'll never feel completely ready. Life is unpredictable, and there will never be a perfect moment to step out of your comfort zone and start something new. If you wait for everything to line up, you'll be waiting forever. There will always be reasons not to move forward. But that's the thing, action creates momentum. You don't need to know everything before you start. You just need the courage to begin, even if you're unsure of every step ahead. This idea of waiting for permission often stems from a deeper fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of judgment. It's easier to stay on the sidelines to wait because waiting feels safe. You don't risk rejection, you don't risk failure, and you don't risk looking foolish. But in the end, what is the cost of staying in the shadows? The cost is your potential. The cost is the life you're capable of creating but will never experience because you waited for someone to give you permission to go after it. Every moment spent waiting is a moment you'll never get back. Every opportunity you let slip away because you were unsure of whether it was okay to act is a moment that could have led to growth, learning, and achievement. We have to learn to trust ourselves. The more we rely on other people's judgments and approvals, the more we diminish our own sense of power and autonomy. When we wait for others to give us the green light, we put ourselves in a position where we're allowing external forces to dictate our lives. You are the one who knows what's best for you. You are the one who has the passion, the vision, and the ability to make things happen. But until you stop waiting for permission and take ownership of your own decisions, you'll never tap into your full potential. There's also something incredibly liberating about taking action without waiting for permission. When you stop seeking validation, when you stop waiting for someone to tell you that it's okay to do what you want, you unlock a whole new level of freedom. You are no longer bound by other people's expectations, opinions, or rules. You're free to follow your own path, to make mistakes, and to learn from them without fear of judgment. You're free to create your own success based on your terms and your vision. And that freedom is one of the most powerful things you can experience. What often holds us back is the fear of making the wrong decision. We fear that if we act without permission, we might make a mistake. But here's the truth, everyone who has ever succeeded has made mistakes. They've all failed at some point. In fact, failure is one of the most important parts of the journey. The fear of making mistakes should not be a reason to wait, it should be the reason to act. Every mistake you make brings you closer to the person you are meant to become. Every failure is an opportunity to learn and to grow stronger. It's not the mistakes that define us, but how we respond to them. When you stop waiting for permission, you give yourself the freedom to fail, to adjust, and to keep moving forward. Take a moment to think about the people you admire, the ones who have built incredible careers, created successful businesses, or made an impact in their fields. Did they wait for permission? No, they took risks. They put themselves out there when no one was telling them it was safe to do so. They acted boldly, and in doing so, they created their own path. That's the kind of mindset you need to adopt. The mindset of someone who creates their own opportunities, someone who isn't waiting for someone else's approval, but is instead going after what they want with determination and passion. One of the most powerful things you can do is to stop waiting for permission and start setting your own standards. Stop allowing other people's expectations to dictate your actions. The only permission you need is the permission you give yourself. You don't need anyone to validate your dreams. You don't need anyone to tell you that you're capable. You already know that you are. But you have to believe it enough to act on it. You have to trust that your vision is worthy of being pursued, regardless of what anyone else thinks. When you stop waiting for permission, you also stop letting fear control your decisions. You stop allowing the opinions of others to hold you back. This means not seeking approval for your dreams, your goals, and your vision. You don't need someone to give you the green light. You don't need to wait for the perfect conditions. You simply need to decide that now is the time to start. You need to decide that you are worthy of success, that you are capable of achieving what you set out to do, and that no one else has the authority to tell you otherwise. It's time to stop waiting. The permission you've been seeking has always been inside of you. The moment you stop waiting for someone to tell you it's okay to act is the moment you start living your life to its fullest potential. The moment you stop seeking validation from others is the moment you start creating your own success. You have the power to go after what you want right now. Doubt is often viewed as a negative force, something that undermines confidence, cripples progress, and prevents people from reaching their full potential. It has a way of creeping into the mind at the most inconvenient moments, casting a shadow over ideas, plans, and dreams. However, what if doubt didn't have to be a roadblock? What if instead of seeing it as an obstacle, it could be reframed as a source of motivation? The power of transforming doubt into motivation lies in recognizing its potential to serve as a catalyst for growth, resilience, and innovation. This is a mindset shift that allows doubt to become not a paralyzing fear, but a tool for advancement. When doubt arises, it usually comes with a sense of uncertainty. The very nature of doubt is that it asks questions, challenges beliefs, and brings to light potential risks or weaknesses. This is where the opportunity for growth lies. Instead of letting doubt fester as a force of negativity, one can use it to assess the situation critically, improving ideas and strengthening resolve. Doubt can force a deeper level of introspection, urging a person to confront their insecurities and weaknesses, to prepare more thoroughly, and to ask the important questions they might otherwise ignore. At its core, doubt is a reflection of the unknown. It highlights the gaps in knowledge, the areas where one is unsure, and the potential obstacles that could arise along the way. These are not weaknesses, rather they are signposts that guide us toward a more thorough understanding and a more solid foundation. The very presence of doubt means there is still room for growth, for improvement, and for the acquisition of new skills or insights. It is an invitation to learn, adapt, and evolve. Turning doubt into motivation starts with embracing it rather than resisting it. When you feel doubt creeping in, instead of pushing it away, allow yourself to sit with it for a moment. Ask yourself what it is trying to tell you. Is it pointing out a flaw in your plan? Is it exposing an area where you lack knowledge or experience? Is it suggesting that you need to be more prepared or more focused? This process of reflection can provide clarity and help you to adjust your approach. Rather than feeling defeated by doubt, you can harness its energy to refine your strategy and strengthen your resolve. In many ways, doubt functions as a guide to preparedness. If you doubt your ability to succeed in a particular venture, it may be a sign that you need to build more skills or gather more information. Instead of viewing this doubt as a roadblock, use it as a motivator to become better. Take it as a challenge to learn something new, to push beyond your comfort zone, and to prepare yourself for the road ahead. Often, the things we doubt are the very things we have not yet fully explored or mastered. If you can meet that doubt with curiosity and an eagerness to improve, you turn a potential threat into an opportunity for growth. The process of transforming doubt into motivation is also about resilience. Doubt can feel like a momentary setback, But it is in those moments of uncertainty that true strength is developed. Every person who has ever accomplished something significant has faced doubt at some point. But it is their ability to push through that doubt, to not allow it to dictate their actions, that makes them successful. Doubt, when faced head-on, becomes a fuel for persistence. It's the inner drive that pushes you to keep going even when the path is unclear and the outcome uncertain. It serves as a reminder that nothing worth having comes easily. If you can learn to persevere in the face of doubt, you develop a resilience that will serve you in every aspect of life. Furthermore, doubt can serve as a powerful motivator for creativity and innovation. When we doubt an idea, a solution, or a product, we are actually questioning its adequacy, which opens the door for new ways of thinking. Doubt sparks creativity because it forces us to explore alternatives, to think outside the box, and to test new approaches. Many of the world's greatest inventions and breakthroughs were born from doubt. If the inventors and innovators of the past had simply accepted their doubts as reasons to give up, the world would be a very different place. Instead, they leaned into their doubts, using them as stepping stones toward better solutions, greater discoveries, and more refined products. There is also a psychological aspect to turning doubt into motivation. When we doubt ourselves, it often taps into deeper feelings of fear or inadequacy. These feelings can hold us back, but they can also serve as a signal to dig deeper and address these underlying insecurities. Doubt provides an opportunity to build self-confidence, not by ignoring the fear, but by facing it directly. Each time you push through doubt and prove to yourself that you can overcome it, your self-esteem and confidence grow. The more you confront doubt and use it as a driving force, the less power it has over you in the future. Over time, you begin to see doubt not as a threat, but as a natural part of the process of self-discovery and growth. Another critical aspect of turning doubt into motivation is reframing failure. Doubt often arises because we fear failure, and this fear can be paralyzing. However, if you can reframe failure as a learning opportunity, you can use doubt to propel yourself forward. Failure is not the end, but a chance to try again with more knowledge and experience. In this sense, doubt is a companion to perseverance, not an adversary. Every time you doubt your ability to succeed and continue despite it, you learn something new about your strengths, your resilience, and your capacity to improve. This mindset shift is crucial in overcoming self-doubt and turning it into a positive force. One of the most important ways to turn doubt into motivation is by focusing on your why. When you are driven by a strong sense of purpose or passion, doubt becomes less of a barrier. Instead of seeing doubt as a reason to stop, you can use it as fuel to push forward. When you are clear about why you want to achieve something, why it matters to you, and why you are willing to put in the work, doubt loses its power. It becomes a mere distraction, something to acknowledge but not to let dominate your actions. Your deeper motivations and commitments will guide you past doubt, ensuring that you stay focused on the bigger picture. In addition, it's important to surround yourself with a supportive environment when grappling with doubt. Doubt can feel isolating, but it doesn't have to be. Having a network of people who encourage you, offer constructive feedback, and remind you of your strengths can help you overcome doubt more effectively. A supportive community can provide perspective, encouragement, and shared wisdom, turning doubt into a collective motivator. Sometimes, simply hearing someone else's perspective on the situation can help you reframe your doubts and see them in a new light. There is also value in using doubt as a means of evaluating your goals and aspirations. Not all doubts are unfounded. Some doubts are valid and can help us reassess our direction. It is important to be open to this constructive self-reflection. If you feel doubt about a particular goal or project, take a step back and examine it critically. Is this the right goal for you? Are you on the path that aligns with your values and strengths? Sometimes doubt is not about a lack of ability, but about a mismatch between our true desires and our actions. By listening to our doubts, we can refine our goals and align them with our deeper purpose. Lastly, it is essential to remember that doubt is a universal experience. Everyone has felt doubt at some point, from the most successful individuals to those just starting out. What sets successful people apart is not the absence of doubt, but their ability to keep moving forward despite it. Doubt is not an enemy, but rather a part of the human experience. It can challenge us, shape us, and ultimately make us stronger. By reframing doubt as a source of motivation, we unlock its potential to propel us toward greater heights. In the end, doubt is not something to fear or avoid. It is something to embrace and learn from. By using doubt as a tool for introspection, improvement, and resilience, we can transform it into a powerful motivator. When we learn to navigate doubt with curiosity and determination, we open ourselves up to limitless possibilities and growth. The next time doubt arises, remember it is not a reason to stop, but an invitation to push further, think deeper, and become better. Through this lens, doubt becomes not an obstacle, but a stepping stone on the path to success.